Why is it that despite giving our all, we still achieve nothing? Why do the principles of hard work leading to success, which we practiced in school, seem to fail in the real world? The answer is quite simple. Choosing the right direction for our efforts is more important than the effort itself. Under the mindset shaped by traditional education, most of our efforts are actually very inefficient, sometimes even ineffective. So what constitutes effective effort? Consider the story from the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where a village, except for rainwater, has no water sources. The village chief hires two people, Ed and Bill, to solve this problem by fetching and transporting water. Ed immediately gets to work after signing the contract, buying two large buckets to fetch water daily from a lake a mile away to the village. The villagers built a large concrete water tank to store the water. Ed brought it. To keep the tank full, Ed maintained a steady pace, tirelessly fetching water. Despite the hard work, he earned a good amount of money daily. To earn more, Ed persevered through exhaustion and hardship, believing that with enough effort, he could make more money and live a better life. On the other hand, Bill remained quiet, not fetching water daily, instead observing around and daydreaming about the village. Since he didn't fetch water, the chief didn't need to pay him and let him be. One day, Bill had a bright idea and told Ed, "You don't have to walk so far and fetch so much water daily. Why don't we set up a long pipe from the lake to the village's water tank? I've observed a slope from the lake to the village. With some effort, we can channel water directly to the village. This way, both the villagers and we will be free. Wouldn't that be great?" Unexpectedly, Ed wasn't happy about hearing this. Instead, he got furious, angrily saying that this was wishful thinking, impossible to succeed. Ultimately, he said, "I'm just lazy and unwilling to work hard." After rejecting Bill's idea, Ed worked even harder, honing his water fetching skills and replacing his buckets with larger ones to increase efficiency. He earned more and was satisfied. Meanwhile, Bill disappeared, and no one in the village knew where he went. 6 months later, Bill returned with an engineering team and started constructing a huge stainless steel pipeline between the lake and the village. During the 6 months, Bill took the water delivery contract, wrote a business plan, found investors, and raised significant funds. He planned to build a water supply system in the village. A year later, Bill's water system was completed, offering villagers a continuous water supply at a quarter of Ed's price. The villagers were ecstatic, and soon Bill's system reached every household. Ed refused to give up, enlisting his two sons to help, and lowering his price to a quarter. But even then, the three of them couldn't compete with Bill, and their business struggled to survive. While Ed lamented, Bill started thinking about replicating this model in more villages nationwide. Years later, Bill could lie in bed watching shows and his income would still increase. As for Ed, he became a pipe maintenance worker in his company, still working hard just to make ends meet. And why did this happen? Clearly, Ed was initially diligent and hard-working. The difference lay in the type of effort he chose. Ed's effort was akin to hunting, taking a gun out in the morning, shooting a rabbit, and having meat for dinner. The return period is short. You quickly see the results of your efforts, providing instant gratification. Bill's effort was akin to farming. It requires sowing in spring and harvesting in autumn. What you do now may not bring immediate returns and might need continuous investment of time, money, and effort. But each action accumulates, leading to greater rewards in the future. Therefore, the correct way to exert effort is not in fetching water tirelessly, but in considering how to lay pipelines in your life. But wait, if the conclusion is so simple, why are there still so few who succeed by relying on themselves in reality? Because in reality, Bill's project might run out of funds halfway, end unfinished, or the pipe quality might be poor, causing system collapse. Even if the system is completed, the villagers might need to relocate. Bill wouldn't become a successful entrepreneur, but rather a total failure with massive debt. Through this story, I don't mean to suggest that a specific path is the only correct one, but to understand that different directions of effort entail different risks and rewards. One should choose the direction that suits their circumstances and goals. After weighing the two directions, you might still choose to go hunting the next day because you can regularly obtain strategies of successful people. Behind every seemingly correct guide lies a huge blind spot, an uncertainty that our efforts alone cannot overcome. So given this, what is the point of our efforts? In my view, the meaning of effort lies in the process itself, not the results. In the process of striving, we explore and unleash our potential, just like asking Sisyphus, who pushes the rock up the hill, about the meaning of effort. He might tell you, "Today I pushed a stone 1 kilogram heavier than yesterday." And that is the meaning. Because the struggle of pushing the rock itself is enough to fulfill a person's heart. Therefore, the definition of effective effort lies in your hands. I wish everyone success in navigating the world, fighting against the odds, and carving out a brilliant path for themselves.